Okay, here's this week's tale. A couple of weeks ago, a lady sent me a comment, and the comment was this little picture of a body of water. And when you move the mouse over the picture, it caused little ripples in the water. I thought that was really cool because it reminded me of this woman that I used to know. Now, I made mention of her last week. She used to say the thing about whether you're a human or a human being. One of the other things she used to say, she equated the world to being like a big body of water, and each person and their actions were a little like a pebble that you throw in the water. When you throw a pebble in the water, it causes little ripples. Well, everybody causes these little ripples, and all these little ripples affect each other. Now, ironically enough, this week I was reading a book I just finished by an author named Dan Brown. It's called Deception Point. He also wrote Angels and Demons and the Da Vinci Code. And one of the things in this book is a thing about a subject called noetic science. Now, I'm real big on hard science. Essentially, what this thing proves is that we're all really, that your mind actually can affect the physical world. And physically affect it in a way that if you have positive thoughts, positive things can happen. If you have negative thoughts, negative things can happen. So it essentially validates the idea of a lot of religions in that if you pray for something and you pray for it hard enough, it can affect whether or not the thing comes to be. Now, I thought this was really interesting because my own personal thing with this week's family tale. I mentioned this to a guy at work, and he said that, well, you know, no individual person is just a cog in a machine, and it doesn't really affect how anything is. Well, anybody who's actually worked with the machinery knows that when you take a cog out of a machine, the machine doesn't work right anymore. So, the story about whether your positive attitude and whether you want something can actually have an effect, this is how the tale goes out. My dad had this wart on his hand. Now, he went to the dermatologist, and he had the wart removed. He had it lasered off, and it grew back. He had it frozen off, and it grew back. Eventually, he had it cut out, and it grew back. One day, out of absolute frustration, my dad's sitting there, and he's looking in his hand. He goes, you know what, I really wish you would just go away. And within a couple of days, the wart vanished. So, I guess the Force really does exist, and may the Force be with you. Remember, the world's a better place when we all share. Bye. Have a good day.